Entertainment Flash. I'm your host Ron. We got some pretty awesome stuff to talk about today. First off, we have Indiana Jones 5 updates, and also, in case you missed it and didn't hear about it, the Walking Dead series finale wrapped up Sunday. So we're going to talk about that. We also have a little bit about Tulsa King. I got to watch the first two episodes, and we will talk about that as well. But we're going to start it out with Indiana Jones. I'm jonesing for this movie. Jonesing. No, but, so they haven't given it a title yet. It is supposed to be released next year, I believe June. But it could get delayed, as it seems like every movie does get delayed these days. So, Indy is going to be taking on the Nazis again. Indy versus Nazis. Yes, they are back at it. But this time they're going to be taking them on. He's going to be taking them on in the home front, and apparently this is going to be taking place in 1969 during the space race. So the United States versus the Russians, they're trying to get to space first, and apparently the Nazis and USA are in a collusion together. Oh, oh, this could be interesting. And well, Indy doesn't like that because he doesn't like the Nazis, as do all people despise Nazis, except for maybe Nazis themselves, and maybe they even dislike each other. Who knows? Um, but there was a lot of talk about this could be like having to do with time travel. It is not a time travel movie. It is a space race, and there will be flashbacks of Indy's past. So prepare yourself for that. So there's no time travel, you know, and it has to do with the 1969 space race. And just think, so they had to fit this into the age of how old he is. So this takes place 12 years after the Crystal Skull. So the Crystal Skull time period was 1957, and this takes place in 1969. So it is 12 years after the Skull. Yeah, so that is pretty cool. Phoebe Waller Bridges is Indiana Jones's goddaughter. Could she be getting the torch passed to her? So we'll see if there are future movies with her taking on that role of Indiana Jones, which I find it hard to believe if this isn't the last one. Indiana Jones, was supposed to be the Last Crusade was supposed to be the last one, but that was not the last one. Then they made the Crystal Skull, and you know, people were too happy about the Crystal Skull. It wasn't a bad movie. I just don't. It just with Indiana Jones, I think aliens are just a little too much for me. So that's why I think a lot of people were turned off. And plus, they kind of messed up in that movie. They wanted, him to pass the torch on, and it just clearly the fans weren't having it. So, so he wanted to send it off. Harrison Ford wanted to send it off, you know, on a good note. So they decided to make another movie. So hopefully this one will be a great ending to the Indiana Jones series. Mads Mikkelsen is playing the villain Voller. So So be looking for him. Plays a scientist. So yeah. So that's gonna be pretty good. Looking forward to seeing Indiana Jones. I will be there in the theaters as long as they're all open, because you never know what's around the corner. So yeah, so Indiana Jones 5 is coming soon. Um, so Indy versus Nazis. It doesn't get better than that. So let's talk about let's talk about Sunday, huh? Did anybody miss the episode of the season finale of The Walking Dead? Um, I didn't miss it. Let me tell you, uh, it was it was pretty powerful ending. I think they kind of wrapped it up pretty nicely. Even though we all know there's three more series spin-offs coming from it. Um, but when we talk about certain roles, now I know I had mentioned where Judith would end up. You might think that maybe Rick and Michonne would have come back for her by now, and that is not the case. There was no Rick and Michonne at the doorstep at the end. So um, Judith, then, and RJ, I should say, Judith and RJ, um, were then basically without, mom and dad for whatever, however long it is. Um, and she didn't have Daryl because Daryl went off on his own to go look for Rick and Michonne. Yeah, he said he was going to find them no matter what. But we all know that's not happening because he gets captured and taken away and going to France. Um, could be CRM, could be anybody. Who knows who it is? Could be, the French army. Who, for all we know, I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen until the series debuts with Daryl Dixon. Um, so so there's that angle. So Judith now doesn't even have Daryl. Carol stayed behind and you know gonna look out for all the kids, and she wants to just settle down, and she thinks she's going to be able to do that there. And so yeah, so Carol is still there. So um, I know Carol has taken a year off, or at least a half a year off, and before she goes onto the series with Daryl. So apparently, she's going to be worried. Maybe Rick and Michonne do show up at some point during that timeline, and that makes Carol go look for Daryl. So that's what all I can assume is that. So there may be an appearance in this series with Rick and Michonne at some point, maybe at the end of the season, getting ready for season two. Um, but that's speculation, so we really don't know yet. Also, it seems like Maggie and Negan were starting to mend ties. Um, Mostly because they're going to be in the new Dead City, which will probably be the first of all these series spin-offs to appear. That one is coming probably springtime. I'd probably say, if it's not Fear the Walking Dead that comes in springtime, then it'll be Dead City, and maybe Dead City comes back in the summer. So that could be a summer series for Maggie and Negan. So it's either going to be spring or summer for them. I don't think that will be the one that plays out next fall. because I got a feeling that is going to be the Daryl Dixon one. And then I would assume that the Rick Grimes series would soon follow that. But the time, who knows? Who knows with that? A disturbing thing that happened in that a couple of characters that we all know died. Um, so if you want to not see this before you watch the ending, if you were intending on it, then I'd probably go away right now and then come back in about 5 minutes. Actually, not even that, maybe 1 minute. Just turn the volume off. And look, Jules died. That was pretty sad. So they took it pretty hard. But the big one for me was Rosita. Yes, I shed a tear for Rosita, one of my favorite characters in the series. Um, I did not want to see that. I was hoping that she would be on one of the series. I was hoping that that's not happening. That is not happening. So it was terrible because she tried so hard to get her child back, and then she ended up dying, and it was kind of sad, and to see, you know, that that scene was really hard to take. So yeah, so that happened. I do think it was a touching episode and a lot of action, by the way. It was a very well done series ending because there are three series spin-offs. Um, and so we'll see what happens. We'll see where, the interesting thing is going to be what happens with Judith and RJ. I still want to know. I don't want them to leave it hanging. And I know that the Rick and Michonne series is going to take place on where when Rick got first taken, by that river, and Michonne searching for him. So so it's going to take place before the series ending The Walking Dead. So it's going to be interesting to see where things happen, um with those two, and how long they plan on doing it before, if ever, they reunite with Judith and RJ and the rest of Alexandria. So that'll be interesting to see. So so that is The Walking Dead. It was I love the series. I'll probably end up watching it a million times. I probably will start watching it tomorrow again. You know, so um, so again, so Dead City is the one that they're going to be looking at for coming up next. So we'll at least see what happens with Maggie and Negan, and if anybody else. Will Negan's wife be there? I don't know. I have no idea who's going to be in it. So we're gonna wait and see. Um, as far as I know, it looks as though Carol, Aaron, Lydia, Judith, um, Jerry, Ezekiel, they're all stayed behind, and as did the rest of them, they all stayed behind. I really wouldn't have minded to see Connie, go off with Daryl. I really wouldn't have minded to see that, but that is clearly an ending of that. They want Daryl to be by himself, and that is that. That is that. So, if you're watching us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Um, We have 1,107 followers currently. So please follow us, subscribe, like, share, comments. Always like comments. So comment on anything that we're talking about or what you want us to talk about on the next episode. Um, so you can also watch us on Facebook at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Also Twitter at Broadcasting RI, and of course Twitch at RI_broadcasting. And we are also on Trovo Live at Rhode Island Broadcasting. So be looking for us there. You can also catch the shows on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Red Circle, TuneIn, all kinds of places. I know we have others, but we're on all over the place. So check us out. You can also join us on Discord right there. Good luck. MCW9XD and BTR. I don't know why they do this. Why can't they just put it at Rhode Island Broadcasting? Doesn't make any sense. It's the one thing I hate about Discord. So, like I said, subscribe, share, follow, like, you know, comments. They are all important. All important. You can donate stars and bits, of course. Stars on Facebook, bits on Twitch. You know, the whole bit, the whole bit. So yeah, so do that if you want to sponsor the show. If you want to sponsor the show, just send us an email at rhodeislandbroadcasting.media@gmail.com, and we'll get you all the information you need. It's really easy. It's really easy. I'm talking about, the first time around, $25 for 4 shows. So that is not very much. You get eyes on your ad. I read off the ad so you can hear it on the podcast, and it stays on video forever. Forever. Yes, so do that. Tulsa King. Tulsa King, the last thing I want to talk about. And I got to see the first 2 episodes now, and I am very impressed in how that show is heading. Look, he comes out of prison, you know, basically tries to collect on the family that he protected. And all they did was say, "Hey, go to Tulsa, and earn some money." That's basically what they gave him. He was a little upset, but he went anyway. And then you see all the stuff that happens. Look, there's a lot of things that happened, and it hasn't even got to the meaty part yet. So I think episode 3 is where all the action starts. Even though there is action, there is some funny moments. There's a lot of good stuff in the first 2 episodes that includes building up the story. And look, Sly Stallone delivers on this one. You need to check it out. You know, look, it's great. I think the cast is good. Um, I think there's a lot of things that are going to be awesome on this show. So I suggest watching it. Those of you that did go and check out The Watcher, like I told you, I hope that you were satisfied. It would be nice if you did check out The Watcher, to let us know what you thought of it. So yeah, that is basically it. Um, so you know, Tulsa King. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And if you get time, check out at 9 a.m. Lamont and Leah, where it's a special airing of Lamont and Leah at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We held it back an extra 2 days so we can put it on Thanksgiving for you. And also, don't forget to be here Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch Sports Unfolded live. You get to interact on the show. Your comments go on the show as we do it, and we talk to you. You can even throw in your predictions and get on the board as I am destroying Eric, destroying him, and he's going to have to wear a Boston Red Sox jersey on the last episode of the year because he's going to lose that. And I think I just heard my phone. That must be him calling, say, hey, no, you're not going to beat me. Yeah, I am. Yeah. so be watching Sports Unfolded on Friday, and join us in all the conversation. And that is it for Entertainment Flash. We will see you next time. Take care, everybody.